What is Girls and Panzer? This is one of the most common questions you'll get when someone first hears about the series, usually followed by, wait, is that the tank anime? While that sounds simple enough, it's actually harder to explain properly.
If you just say it's about girls driving tanks in high school competitions, it sounds ridiculous. But if you go too deep into the mechanics and history, you kind of lose what makes it appealing in the first place.
So for that reason, we put together an answer that covers what we think are the most important aspects of the series. At its core, Girls and Panzer is a sports anime. I know, crazy, right? But instead of traditional sports, the competition revolves around something called Senshiro, which translates to the way of the tank, in quotes, and is treated with the same level of discipline and structure you would expect from something like kendo or archery.
The story follows Miho Nishizumi, a girl who transfers to Orai Girls Academy after leaving her previous school due to a traumatic experience with tank warfare.
That's right, she has PTSD.
Her goal is to avoid Senshido entirely, but things don't exactly go as planned when her new school suddenly revives its tank program and essentially forces her into participating as the team commander.
From there, the series becomes a mix of character growth, team building, tactical battles, as Miho learns to lead a group of inexperienced teammates while dealing with her past and redefining what Senshiro means to her. One of the biggest reasons why Girls and Panzer works as well as it does is because of how seriously it treats its concept. Despite how absurd it sounds on paper, the battles are structured with clear rules, teams compete using real tanks with live ammunition, but safety measures are in place to ensure no one is actually harmed. Carbon armor my ass.
This allows the show to maintain a light tone while still delivering intense action. Each match is essentially a strategic game where positioning, communication, and terrain all play major roles, rather than just raw firepower. Another major aspect of the series is its attention to historical detail. The tanks featured in the show are all based on real-world designs and are depicted with a surprising level of accuracy. You'll see vehicles like the Panzer IV, which serves as Miho's main command tank, alongside others such as the M4 Sherman and heavier options like the Tiger I.
Each school in the series is themed around a different country, and their tactics often reflect real historical doctrine, which adds an extra layer of depth, especially if you have any interest in military history. Hint, Ori and All-Star are the only ones that aren't themed after a country. The tone of the series is another important point to understand. Despite featuring tanks and combat, Girls and Panzer is not a war story in the traditional sense. There is no graphic violence and no focus on the horrors of war besides Miho having PTSD. Instead, it leans much more closer to a competitive team-based show, something similar in like Haikyuu or something like that. How you pronounce it?
I think so.
Where the focus is on improvement, teamwork, and overcoming challenges. This balance between serious strategy and lighthearted presentation is a big part of why the show stands out.
Another thing worth mentioning is how the series appeals to multiple types of viewers at once. If you're into character-driven stories, you get a strong cast with distinct personalities and growth. If you're into strategy, you get battles that actually reward thinking and planning. And if you're into history, you get a steady stream of references and real-world inspiration all wrapped into one package. This combination is what allows Girls and Panzer to reach people who might not normally watch something like this.
If you do plan on watching Girls and Panzer, the watch order is pretty straightforward. Start with the original TV series, 12 episodes. In the middle, after episode 7, you go watch Real Anzio Battle, and then continue on with the main series, aka the 12-episode anime. You can then watch recap OVAs if you want the extra content, but they're optional. Next major entry is Girls und Panzer der Film, which continues directly from the 12-episode anime and is considered essential viewing. After that comes Girls und Panzer das Finale. It's currently ongoing and it acts as the continuation of the story. So in short, main series, After episode 7, watch Real Anzio Battle. That is required. After that, return to episode 8 and onward, watch the film, and then watch Das Finale.
Beyond the main entries, there are also OVAs and side stories that expand on the characters and school life. These aren't required, but they add extra content and fun moments if you end up really liking the cast and setting.
At the end of the day, Girls und Panzer is one of those series that really shouldn't work when you describe it out loud. But once you actually watch it, the execution speaks for itself. It takes a bizarre premise, commits to it fully, and turns it to something genuinely engaging. So if you've ever been curious about the tank anime, this is your starting point. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm Fuku. I'm the usual guy that voices these videos. So yeah, you guys have a name now.
And I'm Yujin, the co-runner of this account. Please join our Discord server. We would love to talk with you guys, and you can suggest videos there or in the comments. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.
Bye.